Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donut, and I'm here with my fiance.
They're mates.
I've seen South Park up season 20-something.
I am watching Lines.
This is, of course, season 6, episode 12. Well, this is also Black Lives Matter, All Cops of Bastards, trans rights, supporting channel, support that shit, or you get the fuck out of here. This is season 6, episode 12, A Ladder to Heaven.
I mean, I don't know what the plot could possibly be. I'm assuming the title's a play on Stairway to Heaven. But, I mean, maybe a religious episode? Maybe the boys go to heaven? I don't know why.
Gotta give a guess.
Okay. Cartman goes to heaven in order to prove that Jews are bad.
Okay. We do know only the Mormons are in heaven.
But Cartman doesn't know that.
Mormons and Saddam Hussein.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, actually, different idea. Satan is missing Saddam Hussein. Like, he's relapsing hard, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to build a stairway that goes from heaven through earth, and then from hell through earth all the way to heaven.
Okay.
I think that's actually a much better guess.
Okay. If you want to see the full length, check it out on the Patreon for $4 a month. If not, reactions probably also in the description. Just check that out. I'm having to fucking redirect like every single one of these. Ugh. What would you rate this episode?
8 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
The very, very beginning of the opening is really forced.
Yeah.
But aside from that, 9 out of 10. What do you think about the episode overall? The implications of this episode? So many things.
Oh man, I'm so excited that clearly this is going to be a mini arc. Like, whether it is a Kenny comes back mini arc, or I mean, I would be fine if it is just Kenny is now in Cartman's body. I think that's actually a really cool dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, already in this episode, I love it.
Yeah,
like the memory thing is such a cool idea.
But yeah, it's a really good episode, and I mean, like the whole Stairway to Heaven thing is such a strong. Like, there's so many Christian movies that do essentially this, but in one way or another.
Basically, yeah.
It's a good riff on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that, the guy making it's just exploiting the tragedy of his music, and so much of that going on and everything. This was, inexplicably, Tweek wasn't in this episode. I mean, like, understandably, because he probably would have, I mean, he had no connection to Kenny at all, and this is something that happened before that, but, it would have been nice to have, like, a line that explained, like, why Tweek wasn't there or something. Like, it logically is there, but it feels just weird.
It does.
Like, from a writing perspective, it's like, well, yeah, because it's the one where, they're doing all about the Kenny stuff, so it'd be weird to also have Tweek there, but...
now I'm not actually totally sure, like, they've got to do a Tweek is no longer part of the boys episode. But I wonder if they might just stop that if what they're doing right now is Kenny is now part of the boys, in Cartman's body.
Yeah.
Like, if that's how they see it, then they might just drop Tweek and not talk about it.
Like, yeah, what are your predictions? What do you think they're gonna do? Where do you think this is gonna go?
Okay, so I think Kenny's going to stay in Cartman's body for a while. We're gonna do a Tweek gets booted off the boys episode. Like, once the boys just are cool with the idea that Kenny's in Cartman's body. And I feel like he's gotta come back then. Like, they could just kill him off again. Or have it be like as long as the ashes are in Cartman's body, it's fine. But once he takes the big poop, he's out.
Once Cartman does the big poop. Oh, it's the movie countdown timer, like the beginning.
I mean, I could also see, because it is South Park, Kenny could just reform himself from the poom. That's also possible. I guess I'm going to stick with, for the rest of the season, Kenny's going to just be in Cartman's body, and they might hint at him and coming back, maybe not, but I think they'll just, be chilling in there.
Yeah. There's so many jokes I want to make of, they could do this, they could do that, but anything I say would then be confirmed. It's not what they do, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, you gotta hold on.
There's so many jokes to make.
But there's so much. This is such a cool concept.
Yeah. I love how dynamic the cast is of the show.
Yeah.
It's really great.
By the way, also appreciate that no one physically got to heaven.
Yeah.
Like in South Park, where it would be completely like fine if they just said, by the way, you can build a stairway to heaven. Like I'm glad
heaven
that
does exist. We know
Yeah.
it exists.
heaven exists, but you cannot build a stairway there.
Yeah.
The Japanese have already gone into space. No heaven there.
And I do love that it isn't a like reveal like, oh, Bush was actually, right. He did have a fact like WD factory up in heaven because like the image we saw was definitely not heaven. Like it was just a seagull.
Like that's such a good having your cake and eating it too moment of you get to dunk on the government, but at the same time you get to do the joke of there are WMDs.
Oh man, going through like South Park, like old South Park with like the Bush era and stuff, is really interesting too. Like now with how inundated it is with like the Trump being the worst president, and being the stupidest president and everything like that, and it's like, boy, people don't remember Bush that much. Like, oh, Trump is definitely absolutely one of the worst, but it's tough to say whether Bush or Trump is worse. I mean, Bush is Trump is definitely worse for America, but like Bush is definitely a worse president overall. I mean, he has killed way more than any other president has ever killed, I believe.
I believe that's still true.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, maybe now with COVID, where we're getting close to in America, 100,000 cases a day.
It depends on whether he wins this election. Because I do firmly believe if Trump wins this election, he is going to get the count for most kills.
Yeah, that's true. But right now, I think Bush still has more.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. It's always the idiots. I mean, that's the only way it happens.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, they're all idiots. There's not a good president among. I mean, even Obama has killed millions of... Not millions, maybe, but definitely hundreds of thousands of innocent people. But, yeah. What else was going on in this episode? The candy subplot was meh.
It was
like
fine.
Yeah, it was whatever.
I think the main thing is like, if this had been something that they had foreshadowed, I would have found it like 4 times funnier.
Yeah.
But because the candy subplot, because it's so forced, when it kept on coming back, it was just like this is kind of weird, but it's not weird enough to also be really funny.
Yeah. It felt very on rails.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Kenny thing doing it 3 times, I think was a bit much because of how on rails the candy thing was.
Yeah.
So then it made the Kenny flashback moments feel more on rails than they should have been, or they, would have otherwise.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, I don't know how else you would do this plot otherwise, but like it might be one where it would have been better for them, like when they got this idea, to set it up and then pay it off later.
Because also, like, the resolution of it is so simple. It is just Kenny didn't have the ticket on him. It was somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Like, if they had set it up as something like, I don't know what it'd be. Like, if they had one of his Chimpokemon or something, and they were just treating it like garbage, and then the Flashes reveal, oh, by the way, he put it in that Chimpokemon.
Yeah, that would be
and then they have to, like, go to the dump to go grab it.
Yeah. Yeah, they could do something there.
Yeah. Like, it's fine as a plot thing,
works,
but yeah, they could have done better.
Yeah. I do love the recapping the audience on what's going on with Saddam Hussein because he is such a integral character in the show, despite being like what's going on with him episode by episode is so insanely different.
They also have to do a Saddam Hussein episode after this, because this setup is so like, it's bizarre to think of for like, if this is just that punchline, like if they did this entire scene where they this American dude's talking to the UN about the whole Saddam Hussein plotline just to set up the idea of he's in heaven making weapons of mass destruction. Well, like they gotta do something else.
I do think it's also a really good joke by itself.
True.
To be fair, like just explaining it all is great. Especially like bust out laughing as soon as he was mentioned Chris.
Yeah,
like when he's talking about Saddam Hussein and Satan, the Prince of Darkness, and his new boyfriend Chris.
How does America know?
They know somehow. I don't know. How could they possibly know? I don't think there's any like real reason why they would. I don't think there's any like thing we can figure out. It's just a joke. I just generally love the concept of them being like specifically the line of, we just found out heaven exists and now should we bomb it? It's so powerful. Yeah.
By the way, I do want to say I do know that practicing Jews do not get cremated.
Okay.
There's no way to tie that into anything. I just want to say that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know anything about that, but
Mhm.
I would definitely prefer to be cremated, I think.
Mm.
Just because, I mean, funerals are so goddamn expensive, and it's just so, funerals are so capitalist to me.
Incidentally, the reason why practicing Jews don't get cremated, and also why they're not supposed to like get tattoos and stuff, is because it is believed that like they're going to use those bodies when they come back.
Ah,
So like you can't mess up the body too much.
it's a good thing Kenny isn't a Jew, even if he wasn't cremated. Oh, seeing Cartman's body, oh, the ultimate
I mean, that's confirmation. You're going to use the body still. Spirit's still using the body. Still there.
yeah. I guess that's all I have to say about this episode. Honestly, this might be my favorite or second favorite of the season.
Okay.
I'm willing to say that already, I think. Yeah, I just love the concept of them building the stairway to heaven, or the ladder to heaven, rather.
I like the concept, but I feel like there's not enough meat there. Like, I can see gaps.
Sure, yeah.
It's not a, like, well, I would write it this way, but, like, I do have this inherent feeling that they could have done better.
Sure, I definitely think so, too. But there's so many good, like, gags in this episode. Like, there's so many moments that it's like I'm waiting for it, and there's like the frame, like it's like that's the frame where I start to lose my mind and start laughing. Like the, you know, we just got where the Japanese are building a ladder to heaven, and then also just of course the them all leaving the table, Cartman sitting there staring at the ashes and then getting the milk. so many good gags.
Yeah.
All right, we will see you guys.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Trivia?
Oh yeah, I should do that, definitely.
It's my least favorite segment, but I'm the one going like, I need trivia. Give me the trivia.
This is so far the second episode of South Park that has not aired in Japan. First one being Shin Pokemon.
Okay.
Pretty obvious reasons, I feel like.
Yeah, fair.
Pretty racist.
I am surprised that it was the Japanese that built the, you know, new Stairway to Heaven as opposed to like Russia.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is just because Japanese, you know, they build shit very quickly and so much better than anybody else.
Sure.
But whereas I feel like if they did the Russian, I know South Park, I know they would try and do the like it's as crappy as theirs, you know, joke. So I guess that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good point. Even if they did make it to heaven, they wouldn't have found Kenny up there because Kenny's not a Mormon.
You're right.
Kenny's going back down to hell. Also, yeah, why do they have a robot guard? Why do they have a robot guard? They're so poor.
I mean, I guess that might have been... Yo?
There actually is a logical reason why it might be there.
Oh?
What were you going to say first?
I was going to say that because they don't have to feed Kenny anymore, they have bonus gift money, and he used that to buy the guard.
They did get $500,000 money in a lawsuit settlement when Kenny died in Cartman Land.
Oh.
And they spent apparently all of that money on a robot guard. That's the only thing that makes sense.
You know, that's pretty messed up. Imagine the owner of the theme park that killed your son going into your house, stealing his ashes and drinking them.
Oh God, yeah. And the robot guard that you spent $500,000 on didn't even stop him. Yeah. Oh, the guy with the Hey t-shirt in the crowd. I was like, who is he? He looks familiar. That was Russell Crowe's editor. I don't know why he was here, but
okay,
he was here. They did it again. They fucking did it again. When they put up all the, like, they were, you know, doing the news going around to the, like, families talking about the ladder and everything. They go to Kyle's family, and once again, they spell his fucking name wrong. They cannot name any... we have now had Kenny's name wrong. We've now had Kyle's name wrong. I feel like eventually they're going to spell Cartman wrong. They're going to spell Stan wrong. Jesus, guys, come on. Have some semblance of fucking... any amount of professionalism. But okay, that is all my trivia I have for this episode. The next episode is the return of the Fellowship of the Ring of the Two Towers.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm hype.
We'll see you guys at that one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.